there's something quietly destroying your peace. It's not your workload, not the economy, not even your past. It's the people around you, the ones who smile to your face but poison your mind. The ones who call themselves friends while sabotaging your growth in silence. You don't rise by being surrounded by people who pull you down. You don't become stronger by walking with those who fear your strength. And you don't gain clarity by spending time with minds that are drowning in noise. So let me ask you, who do you let sit at your table? Who has access to your mind, your time, your soul? Because your life is the average of the emotional energy you allow. The great Stoic Epicurus once said, "Associate with those who help you become your best self." That's not just philosophical advice. It's a survival strategy in a world full of emotional vampires, chronic victims, sweet-talking manipulators, and toxic optimists. If you want to build an iron mind, you can't keep entertaining people who live in chaos and call it passion. You can't keep holding space for people who drain you and then ask why you're tired. Today, we're going to expose 11 types of people who will quietly destroy your self-worth, hijack your inner peace, and make you doubt your power. More importantly, you'll learn how to detach from them, not with anger, but with emotional intelligence, self-mastery, and psychological boundaries that no one can cross. If you're ready to stop entertaining what weakens you, thumbs up like this video to support the Stoic revolution we're building. Bell subscribe so you don't miss the tools that will protect your peace and elevate your power. The truth is simple. Not everyone deserves access to your life. And today we're going to show you exactly who to cut off and how to walk forward in silence, stronger, sharper, and untouchable. Let's begin. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Epictetus. You know this person. They don't scream. They don't lash out. But every conversation with them feels like someone slowly dripping acid into your mind. They complain about their job. They complain about their partner. They complain about the weather, the government, society, everything except themselves. And the worst part, they do nothing to change it. When complaining becomes a weapon of emotional sabotage. At first, complaining might seem harmless. After all, don't we all vent now and then? But this goes beyond the occasional rant. The chronic complainer doesn't seek solutions. They speak only to reinforce a worldview built on bitterness, helplessness, and blame. And if you're not careful, you start seeing life through their lens. Suddenly, your job feels inadequate. Your relationships feel flawed. Your peace, once solid, starts to crack. This isn't an accident. This is emotional contamination. What Stoicism teaches us about chronic complainers. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." Not to be pessimistic, but to be prepared. Because a Stoic doesn't expect perfect people, but they refuse to be corrupted by their imperfections. The chronic complainer lives in direct violation of Stoic values. They refuse personal responsibility. They reject emotional regulation. They cultivate resentment like it's a badge of honor. In Stoic philosophy, chronic complaining is a symptom of a weak, untrained mind, a mind that hasn't learned to separate what can be controlled from what cannot. Why you must distance yourself from complainers. Not because they're evil, but because they're infected. And emotional infection spreads silently. They plant doubt in your confidence. They amplify minor annoyances into major life problems. They make you feel guilty for having peace because they don't. This is how they drain your mental energy without ever raising their voice. How to handle them the Stoic way. 1. Set psychological boundaries. through strategic silence. You don't have to argue. You don't have to correct them. You simply stop feeding the fire. Next time someone complains for the third time about the same problem, ask, "That sounds frustrating. What are you planning to do about it?" If they stumble or change the subject, you've just exposed the truth. They don't want solutions, they want sympathy. 2. Remind yourself, your energy is sacred. Just because someone is venting doesn't mean you owe them your focus. Your inner peace is a form of wealth, and you have the right to protect it with absolute discipline. 3. Create emotional distance. If you can't cut ties, cut depth. Be kind. Be calm. But don't let their chaos into your soul. You are not obligated to be anyone's unpaid therapist, especially when they're addicted to their own misery. Reflection questions to sharpen your awareness. Who in your life leaves you emotionally drained after every conversation? Are you holding space for some? Who has no intention of growing? When was the last time your mood shifted because of someone else's negativity? Now that you've seen the truth, here's the uncomfortable question. Who came to mind? Because if you watched all the way to the end, chances are you already know who's quietly draining your energy. Maybe it's someone you defend out of habit. Maybe it's someone you feel obligated to carry. Or maybe, just maybe, it's a version of you that you're finally ready to outgrow. But here's the part most people will miss. Awareness without action is self-betrayal. So let's find out, who are you ready to walk away from in silence? Who no longer deserves a seat at your table? Backhand index pointing down, drop their archetype in the comments. You don't need to name them. You already know they don't deserve the power of being named. But your answer will do two things. Expose what you're no longer tolerating. Show me you're not just watching, you're transforming. I'll be in the comments, not to debate, but to see who's bold enough to stop entertaining what weakens them. Most won't comment, they'll scroll. Pretend this didn't hit a nerve. But you, let's see what you're really made of.